Jamari dropped the video. It's called "Say It Isn't So, Cody Co." Now I've been hearing about this speculation of who was it? It was Tana Mongeau. Is that her name? That YouTube girl, Tana Mongeau. I remember hearing her name from time. I heard some allegations against Cody Co in regards to her, and she was saying that she was young when they did some stuff. Let's see this.
So Cody Co is an extremely successful YouTuber who has been very popular for over a decade online.
And what do you have to say about your rise to success?
Well, I wish I could say I had people who doubted me, but everyone knew I was gonna kill it.
I would say he's viewed as almost a reverse David Dobrik. Like, people actually think this man is funny and has good takes, and the majority has considered him to be a stand-up guy for a very long time. In fact, he had pretty much entered that golden boy territory here on YouTube after having such a strong reputation for being on the right side of history for so long. His career has likely gone better than he ever could have expected. Everything he touches seems to turn to gold, and nowadays he's a comedian, podcaster, writer, and even DJ. And so in this story you have him, who is now 33 years old, and the other person really involved in this situation is named Tana Mongeau. Back in the day, she grew up at the age of 17 years old.
I told myself before I started YouTube that I was going to be different, and that I wasn't going to be like every other YouTuber, and that I wasn't going to be the sellout average blonde bimbo on YouTube. I was going to be someone different.
She got a lot of hate online for her actions back then.
Today I have my handy dandy MacBook right here, and we're reading some motherfucking hate comment.
With her infamous TanaCon really being the huge story against her at that time. But nowadays, she's 26 years old.
Say
and has
what?
managed to become a co-host on a massive podcast called The Cancelled Podcast. And I've seen women wearing their merch out in public, so it must be a pretty big show. They do have millions of subscribers and regularly get millions of views per podcast. And so these two had some sort of relationship back when she was first entering the internet atmosphere. They even did some collab videos at that time.
Like, we're not friends, you know? Like, this was organized by someone else.
I don't know her.
I've never met him.
Teach me some slang. Teach me some teen slang.
Okay, well, I was gonna, like, write it
Alright, so
down.
I'm way too old to be on YouTube, obviously. She knows a whole bunch of slang and cool words because she's, you know, a teen, whatever. So I'm here basically just to learn some teen slang.
And apparently back then, Tana was a massive fan of this man, Cody, before they had ever even met.
No, seriously, I'm just, like, your biggest fan. Like, this is such an honor. Like, oh my god.
Well, now Cody has found himself in some extremely hot water because recently this clip from a live recording of the Cancelled Podcast had gone viral.
You never had sex with. Oh my god, do not
What?
look at me, Cody Co.
Whoa. She just dropped that like that? That was a little bit crazy.
Well, now Cody has found himself in some extremely hot water because recently this clip from a live recording of the Cancelled Podcast had gone viral.
You never had sex with. Oh my god, do no one look at me, Cody Co.
So somebody asked her smallest, take care, bruh. Thanks for joining the stream. Somebody said the smallest whatever you had. She said Cody Co. She was underage at the time and he was overage at the time. That's crazy. Oh
and
my
obviously
gosh.
the internet is always going to be the internet, and people started digging, and the timeline was looking suspicious as Cody is quite a bit older than Tana. And so now Tana took to one of her latest podcast episodes to go into further detail about these allegations.
I've tried to talk about this a million times and I feel like I never have the right words. I hooked up with Cody Co when I was 17 and he was 25.
Oh, you're cooked, buddy.
Yeah. It happened.
Now keep in mind, this
Oh,
all
you're
allegedly
cooked, buddy.
happened during the course of a Playlist Live event, which is hosted in Florida.
All
where
these
the age of
YouTube
consent
events, bro.
Is 18 years old, meaning this
Playlist
would be a
Live,
crime.
VidCon.
And yes, this did allegedly
The skeletons
take
are coming
place
right up out that
almost a
closet from
decade
those
ago.
conventions.
But she says time and time again here that it was hard for her to wrap her head around this situation over time because she has experienced much worse trauma in her life. And so in comparison, this situation never crossed her mind as an issue until she got older.
It's
That's a
honestly
devious
disgusting, and I
clip.
also think when you're that
That clip is devious. Did you guys see that?
trauma in her
Oh,
life.
you're done,
And so
buddy.
In comparison, this situation
How old
never
was
crossed
she?
her mind as an issue
You see his eyes?
until she got older.
His eyes. You can't see him. Maybe you can watch the video yourself, but his eyes are going crazy over here.
It's honestly disgusting, and I also think when you're that age, you think you know everything and you think you're way more mature than you actually are. And then from our age now, we can look at it in hindsight's 2020 and it's like, oh my god, you were a child.
Yes,
You were young.
I think a lot of things like that happened to me as well, because I really did have to grow up severely at a really young age. When I look back at the Cody situation, I definitely am like, why was he doing that? You know what I mean? And there were so many situations. There was a situation with Gabby Hanna at a Playlist Live where she pulled him aside and told him like, yo, she's 17. And then we still went and hooked up. And I can look at that and be like, why the fuck were you doing that? But I don't associate or hold it with trauma because I am such a comparative person where I'm like, so many worse things have happened to me.
And you didn't, at that time, it's like you don't really know what you're doing and like you don't really think it's wrong. But again, it's like he was 25.
She even goes on to make the point that it was hard for her to come forward with this because she still doesn't necessarily look at Cody as a bad person.
The thing is like, I still watch his videos. Like, I do think he's really funny. And like, it is this weird thing of like, it would be easier and harder, or it would be easier and less hard if he was like
easily hateable.
Yes.
To really put this more into perspective, this is someone
good
who was
guy.
the
He just
age
likes
of a
young
junior
girls.
in high school, hooking up with a famous man 7 years after he graduated. And that's not even to mention all the power dynamics with her being a big fan of him before
Yeah,
they
I don't
ever
think he's
even
gotta
met,
watch out, man.
And with her being very green to a new industry that moves very fast.
Y'all be on
and
some
like she
fuck
says here, can be
shit.
very sexual.
I was just hooking up with people and having so much fun, and like, because I grew up loving him, and I think you know what I mean? Like, I was just like excited and a fan, and like.
She also makes the point here that because she is disliked a lot online with a historically poor reputation, and because Cody has been so universally loved, people tend not to believe her about this story.
I know for a fact if you swapped out Cody Co with someone that like people didn't like that much, I would be receiving so much more sympathy versus like the amount of people in this industry who like want to protect him.
With that being said, there is this witness named Gabby Hanna that corroborates with her story.
I told a guy, I saw him making out with a girl at a party who was underage, and I pulled him aside and I was like, hey man, you probably don't know, I know she like looks a little older, she's underage, watch it. And he was like, oh my god, thank you for telling me. And then
this all kind of reminds me of when the sketchy actions of David Dobrik came out years ago, and all of his fans were riding really hard for him trying to throw his creepy ass bail just because they enjoy his content. It is very hard for fans to think of someone they've watched grow for years in this way, but that does not mean that Cody has not been feeling the pressure of this slowly coming to light, as Tana claims that he even reached out to her about it.
I think I said something about it online and it was starting to surface, and he texted me like, are we good?
So for weeks now, since this story first started bubbling up due to that viral clip, Cody has now been deleting any comments or Reddit threads that mention the situation at all. And so now many people are obviously demanding some sort of response from Cody. And I do want to say there has been this greater conversation online about the age of consent lately. And I just want to say, like, beyond the physical aspect of it, I feel like it's really more about the mental differences. Like, when you're 16 to 18 years old, you feel like you're on the precipice of adulthood, but you really aren't even close. But because you feel like you are maturing, you will likely try and do things that adults do. Like, I would even call 18 to 21 still a pre-adult phase, because you still don't know shit about life. And most people are still going to do extremely stupid things during this time with their newfound freedom. Now, by the time you turn 21, obviously you have more rights. You've had a couple more years to make your own choices. And by the time you're 25, like Cody allegedly was, you should know better and just be smarter than to even think about spending time with anyone who is still a minor. So we need Cody to say something here. Like, could you imagine if this was James Charles at 25 hooking up with some 17-year-old high school fan of his? There would be hour-long think pieces posted left and right. I also want to know what you guys think will happen if this turns into a he said, she said situation, where he just denies ever sleeping with her in the first place. Because like this woman says, people already view her as dishonest due to her past. And with the other main witness in this situation being Gabby Hanna, who also doesn't have a very good reputation online, just being very realistic, this could 100% turn into that. Now with that being said, I do believe he does have a pretty large female audience. And while it is my belief that he will always have a platform, I do want to know if you guys think this story could do severe damage to his career. But I guess for now, we're just gonna have to wait and see what he has to finally say. And we definitely still have to hear him out and hear his side of the story. But I want to know what you guys think about this entire situation down below. I also want to thank you guys for watching today's video, dropping a like and subscribing. Y'all know I'll continue to keep you updated as more things continue to come out. But for now, it's been your boy, the Tan Superman. Some other online situations out here need to be covered, so I'm out. Peace.
It's very sketchy, yo. Very sketchy. And that's the thing. That's that age, but like you said, between 19 and 21, where you still have you don't have the full wherewithal of your brain, so you're actually more susceptible to making some of those mistakes. You know, not to say that it's any excusable because you're a little bit under the limit or over the age limit than another man. Like, not to say that, and that's not what I'm saying, but I'm speaking more so to, you know, just the brain development. You know, you don't have it all there together yet. You're not a full adult yet. But with that, still, you know, like I said, it doesn't make it any more right. But when you're somebody like, allegedly they're saying Cody was, where he was apparently the age of 25 or whatever it was, messing with a 17-year-old. By that point, you should, I think there's most definitely a expectation to maybe know a little bit more than a 21-year-old, because you've had 4 more years on this planet to make mistakes in your early 20s. So yeah, they're gonna cook that man's for that shit. And if that is true, and I guess she's saying it's true, then rightfully so, you know. Shit.
I don't know if it's smart I stay here.
Well. Look who made it all the way to the end of the video. Pretty sure that means you like what you saw, doesn't it? Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm live every single week on Twitch and Kick. Hit the link in the description, or you can hit that video right there, you know? Might like what you see, might like what you find. Go ahead, hit it, hit it.